A young boy simply wanted a pair of shoes that actually fit him, but his mother insisted on buying a larger size, believing he would grow into them soon. When his father secretly bought him a pair that fit perfectly, his mother threw them away, saying it was a waste because the bigger shoes would last longer. As a result, the boy struggled to walk every day because the shoes were far too loose. He begged his father for help, but the man didn't want to argue with his wife. Instead, he comforted his son, telling him, "Just wait a few more nights, you'll grow taller soon and the shoes will fit." The next day, the family was finally about to fulfill their long-awaited dream of traveling together. Unfortunately, the father was delayed and missed the flight his wife and son were taking. Since the flight was already full, he had no choice but to book the next one and ask them to go ahead without him. Before saying goodbye, the father noticed that his son was still struggling with the oversized shoes. He knelt down, carefully tied the boy's shoelaces, and assured him they wouldn't come loose anymore. To cheer him up, he even joked around until the little boy finally smiled. At first, the flight was smooth and uneventful, but just before reaching their destination, the co-pilot suddenly began acting strangely. As if he had completely lost control of himself, he violently pushed the aircraft's controls forward, sending the plane into a rapid descent. The captain immediately tried to stop him, but the co-pilot struck him with a fire extinguisher, knocking him unconscious. With no one able to take control, the aircraft continued plunging toward the ground. Panic spread throughout the cabin. Passengers screamed as they rushed to put on their oxygen masks. Terrified, the boy and his mother held each other tightly, hoping they would somehow survive. Meanwhile, air traffic controllers repeatedly tried to contact the pilots and instructed them to pull the plane up. But it was as if the co-pilot couldn't hear them at all. He continued forcing the aircraft downward until it ultimately crashed. At the airport, the father was about to board his own flight when all departures were suddenly canceled. Moments later, breaking news appeared on the airport screens announcing that the plane carrying his wife and son had crashed. He froze in disbelief. Hoping there had been a mistake, he checked the information again and again, but the heartbreaking truth remained the same. In a single moment, he lost the two people he loved most. Overwhelmed by grief, he broke down and screamed in agony. Meanwhile, the airline's chairman was on his way to the airport. Instead of mourning the tragedy, he seemed more concerned about paying insurance compensation to the victims' families. When he arrived, he stood before the grieving families and offered a formal apology. However, his words lacked any genuine remorse. Not long afterward, officials announced that the victims' bodies had been recovered. The families rushed forward, desperate to see their loved ones one last time. Among them was the devastated father who stood frozen, unable to face the painful reality before him.